Hi everyone, welcome to my lounge room for a change. The tutorial I want to do is the eye makeup look that I have on right here. Great way of applying eyeshadow for those of us who have hooded eyes. Makes it really hard to apply eyeshadow properly, but I will show you how. Let's get started. The eyeshadows I'll be using are the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. I love this palette. It's one of my newer purchases. Every single color on this palette is just beautiful. For this look, we'll be using as a base a beautiful rose gold, and then we'll be using this deep plum on this side, and to just accentuate a little bit more because we like punchy, this dark brown one here. The other thing I'd like to mention is the sort of brushes that I'll be using. To lay down the base, I use a big shading brush, an eyeshadow shading brush. And the ones that I like are, these two are both Eco Tools brushes. They're quite reasonably priced. I bought them from Woolies. This smaller one is quite flat and it's a little bit more precise than the bigger one. And lastly, a big fluffy brush to blend the edges and to make the transition from one color to the other look a little bit neater. So let's start. I've got my base on, my foundation. I've also done some concealing. I've set it with a little bit of powder, but it's so hot, the sweat is gonna come through, so excuse me. Done my eyebrows. The first thing I'd like to do is use an eyelid primer. Now this is completely optional. In this case I'm using the Urban Decay Eyelid Potion, Eyeshadow Primer Potion it's called. And it comes, this one's called Eden, there's a few different ones. This one's called Eden, it's slightly yellow, so if there's any discoloration on the eyelids, it actually conceals it a little bit. Very simply, just a little bit on the eyelid. And tap it in. The same effect can be achieved by using a concealer. Any concealer you might have, like a cream or a liquid concealer, and then setting it with a little bit of powder. This creates a really nice base for your eyeshadow. It will intensify the color of the eyeshadow and it will also make it last a lot longer. Okay, first thing we're going to do is use the big shader brush, use that beautiful shimmery color just all over the brush, tap it to get rid of all the excess so it doesn't fall all over your face. And what we're going to do is tip your head back a little bit and raise your eyebrows. So we're going to use the brush to feel where the eye socket is. So we're going to press in just like that. And that will lay down your color just on your bottom eyelid and it will stop approximately where your eye socket is, right there. Repeat on the other side. Isn't that a pretty color? The next thing we're going to do is using the same technique, tilting your head back and raising your eyebrows. Same brush that still has a little bit of the beautiful shimmer color, but we're going to tip it in this dark purpley color. So just the tip of the brush, just going to push it into your eye socket, creating basically the crease where it should be. And just following your eyeball basically. That doesn't sound very glamorous, does it? But what you want is most of the color on the outer corner. So you're creating a little bit of a halo effect. I could start singing now, but I won't. I'll spare you that. Just pressing it in and just following the eye socket right around. You can always adjust it a little bit later on and make it darker or make it lighter. This is just your guide. Can you see the effect? Isn't that clever? We're going to take this smaller brush and I'm going to tip it into the slightly darker one. And just using it, just laying it down, pressing it in the outer corner, creating a little bit of a triangle. Looks very patchy now, but don't worry, we are going to blend, blend, blend. For this look, I'm not going to be using a liquid eyeliner. What I would have liked to have used is my NARS Cold Liner, but I've just run out. So this is a black, just a cheap one. Don't even know, coral color. Just a black kohl pencil. And we just, short strokes. This might be something new for you, but just underneath the eyelid. Now I like to outline the whole eye, but you can do whatever you like. I dip the brush into the darker color and smudge it. No harsh lines. You do not want harsh lines. Now every line's quite definite, so what we need to do now is get our blending brush and just blend, blend, blend. This is such a soft brush that this is the only one I really use to go backwards and forwards. Every other brush I use, I basically press it down. Check your work. Are your eyes even? Clean up. I think I like a little bit more glitter, so what you can do is actually wet your brush with just a bit of water and just in the middle there, create a little bit more shine. Using the NARS mascara, but any mascara will do. Any mishaps or if it's uneven on one side or the other, I actually use my concealer, which this one is the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I may just put a little bit underneath. Just press it in. You can set it with powder if you like. If you like to use a highlighter, I use this one, which is a fairly new one. It's Hourglass. It's called Brilliant Strobe Light, and rather than a brush, I use a little sponge. They're quite reasonable from Priceline or any chemist, and I like to use the highlighter first, and then I use the a blush, just a blush to soften the edges. This is a NARS blush as well. It's called Deep Throat. It's a beautiful peachy color. And to finish off, another NARS product. This one's called Barbarella, just a soft peachy look, because it's all about the eyes. Okay, and we're done. So this concludes my eyeshadow look. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you would like to see anything else. If there's anything in particular you would like to see, I'm happy to do any tutorial for you. See you next time. Bye.